Your boss won't listen to you. Your spouse doesn't listen to you. Your kids barely know you're alive. But here at The Fan, we love and appreciate you.
Just when we learn to appreciate what a huge wussy you are.
This is the show for the people, by the people. It's The Fan Call-In Show.
Presented by the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Here are the leaders of the Lunatic Fringe, Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker.
Oh, my, what a night last night. Duke, was it a collapse or Houston just an amazing comeback? Maybe a little bit of both. We want to hear from you this morning. This is your show. This is the call-in show. The number, the phone lines are open, 614-821-9710, and we are going to reward you for calling in. Our best calls will receive an ESPN Bet Sportsbook gift certificate. You can dine at our favorite place, the Hollywood Casino ESPN Bet Sportsbook, and we also have a $50 Visa gift card to give out. Ryan, how shocked were you? Because I turned my TV off at about 11:40 and I just sat in the dark for about 10 minutes trying to process what the heck I just witnessed.
So I was, given that they were down 14, right? And the way Duke was playing, I was kind of shocked. I'm not going to lie, I went right to sleep after because I was exhausted from a long day. But I was more disappointed, Scotty, about a little parlay that I had going on the two games yesterday. So I kept the over-unders the same, and I went under on both games, and I moved the lines a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Auburn getting 8.5 in the under in that game, which was 159.5, I believe, that I got it at. So we were good there.
Yep. I had the same bet.
I moved the Houston line to plus 5.5. So I had the Cougars getting 5.5. And then the over-under on that game was 136.5. What was the final score, Scotty?
I know it went over by a half.
137 was the total for the two teams. So I was like, I went from about the 10-minute mark, they're down 14 to, wow, this thing is dead. Then, hey, maybe this has got a shot here. Wait a second. This has got a real good shot. Oh. Just devastated.
The pain. Phone lines open, 614-821-9710. There's so many different things that we could get into today. We can talk about the Ohio State basketball team locking up a 7-foot center and what the transfer portal looks like for Ohio State hoops and keeping the core together, which was big news for Ohio State basketball this week. We can talk about the Blue Jackets.
Oh, gosh. Do we have to?
Well, if the callers want to, we go wherever the callers want to go. We can also talk about that Duke collapse. I think a lot of people want to talk about whether that Cooper Flagg foul call was a legit call. Here's the situation under a minute to go. Duke's up by 1, shooting 1-1, and they missed the front end of a 1-1, and Cooper Flagg gets called for a kind of an over-the-back type foul call, and Houston goes down and makes a couple free throws to take the lead in the game. So I guess what's your opinion on the foul call? Did you have an issue with it?
We can talk about the foul call if we want. Who cares? You made one bucket in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Go.
Get out of here. Like, do not call or do not talk about referees in this game. And, oh, my gosh, this call cost Duke. They made one basket in the final 10 minutes. Like, that's it. That's all you need to know. There's no complaining about referees.
I'm with you.
There's no complaining about officials.
Yeah. What I will
to me.
Yeah. So again, lot to discuss. Spring game. Maybe you want to get into the quarterback situation. Maybe you want to say, your piece about what's going on, what the most important thing you want to see next Saturday at the spring game. There's a lot of different things we can get into. 614-821-9710 is the number.
Maybe they want to talk about grown men taking baseball gloves to a baseball game, like Scotty did on Wednesday.
All right. I have taken a lot of heat for this.
As well you should.
We went to a Reds game during the week, and I knew where we were sitting, first row over the right field fence. I knew the wind was blowing out. I thought there was a good chance that I would get a nice hard hit ball my way. And like a young kid at heart, I brought my baseball glove to the game, and I took so much crap for bringing a glove to the game that it really hurt my feelings, Ryan.
I mean, you and a lot of 7 and 8 year olds had their gloves, so it was very impressive.
There weren't a lot of kids because it was a day game. But all right, let's go back out to the phone lines and talk to our friend Alan. Alan, welcome to the Fan Call-In Show.
Thank you.
Hey, Alan, do you have a school you're representing this morning?
Zanesville Blue Devils, Zanesville, Ohio.
Goodness! A kiss to be remembered, potentially!
What do you got for us, Alan?
Hey, man, I liked the physical game last night. It was great. I liked how Houston really played chess with Cooper Flagg all night. He was on the floor most of the night, and I think he didn't have enough legs to get that last shot in.
You know what, Alan, you're right, because if you look down the stretch, I think even Bill Raftery talked about this with the under 4 timeout, that Duke in that last 4 minutes really, really did look tired. Walking to the huddle, you could kind of see it on their faces. It looked like they had just been through a crazy battle, but that's what Houston's all about, right? They're a very, very physical, tough defensive team. Duke also a physical, tough defensive team. But, Alan, that's absolutely a good call. I think Duke at the end was pretty worn out there.
And it's one of those things, Scotty, right, where we can say it's easy to say that Duke blew that game last night, but that's what, as you mentioned, Houston does. They play physical all game. They wear you down. I thought Cooper Flagg was brilliant against that defense, especially that first half of that game. But that's what they do. It's like a running back, right? You keep giving him the ball because those 1 and 2 yard runs in the first half in the fourth quarter become 10, 11, 20-yard runs because you've just worn down a defense. You've just beat them up. And that's what Kelvin Sampson and Houston does.
You know what? That's such a great point. I'm glad Alan brought that up as far as the physicality and then just being tired and down the stretch. And again, Duke had every opportunity to win that game, and they did blow it in the fact that they had one basket in the last 10 and a half minutes. But the physicality, and look at the minutes played by Cooper Flagg too. I mean, 36 minutes, and then you have Proctor going 38. So their stars were playing 36 to 38 minutes. What happened to the Buckeyes a lot
That's
late
what I was
in
just
games
say, yep.
this year? Physically, they struggled in that last 4 minutes. You get that last under 4 minute timeout, and they struggled to close out games. I think that might be a little bit of what happened to Duke as well.
Yeah, it's a great point because we've talked about that with Bruce Thornton, especially in this Buckeye team, because he was playing 38 minutes a night at the end of the game. Where are your legs? So let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Greg. Greg, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, guys. I'd like to talk a little bit about the spring game. I've got my ticket purchased. I hope the weather's good. I stepped up and got a seat close down by the field, which usually I just get a GA ticket, but I'm looking forward to it. From Dave's report earlier this morning, it sounds like the quarterback competition might be a little bit closer than we thought. Yeah. I want to know, do you guys know of any players that are definitely going to be held out, like Jeremiah Smith? And one other thing, this is kind of a this or that. Would you guys rather see the usual format where the Scarlet versus the Gray, they kind of draft their own players, or would you rather see best on best?
Thank you for the call, Greg. I don't know if we've had players draft teams in a long, long time. I'm not sure when the last time that would happen. I don't think we're ever going to see best on best again, right? Because you mentioned, and we don't know of any players specifically that are going to be held out, but there's not a lot that you need to see from Jeremiah Smith and Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. And Caleb Downs, it sounds like, has something nagging going on, maybe from that playoff run. So you didn't see him yesterday at the student appreciation. And I would be surprised if you see much of him. But everybody else, there's a lot of new guys on this team. So I think you're going to see a lot of them. And I think this might be, and it's not going to, like, it hasn't been a spring game in a long time, right, Scotty? But I do think you will see some competitiveness here. Yesterday, some of the pictures and videos you saw, quarterbacks getting tackled and stuff. I don't know if we're going to see that in the spring game. But this is a competition for that quarterback spot. And real quick, Scotty, before we go to you here, the weather, the extended forecast right now for next Saturday, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 50s, and not a lot of wind. So you can't ask for too much better for a spring game.
Wait, you're saying here in Columbus we are not going to have rain?
It's no rain at all on the forecast.
Nice. Love that. Hey, thanks for the call, Greg. And to answer your question about what Dave talked about last hour was Lincoln Kienholz did look fantastic. He was kind of like the winner of the Student Appreciation Day. Had a couple amazing throws, one to Tate, one to Ennis. A lot of talk about that. But one thing Dave and I were talking about a little bit off air was it's kind of like you get a peek into about an hour or so on this Student Appreciation Day, and it's like, okay, how much can you really take from seeing 1 hour of practice? So please don't overreact that, Sayin didn't look great and Lincoln Kienholz is the guy right now. It's literally like taking 5 or 10 minutes out of your workday and being evaluated on how you worked for 5 to 10 minutes versus your 8-hour workday.
And I'll just say a couple things on this real quick. You know, I am and have always been a Lincoln guy. I really like Lincoln. So when I heard people saying this was more of a competition than most people thought, I believe that. I agreed with it. A lot of people that we know and trust have said Lincoln has really grown, and he looks way better this spring than he did last spring. But let's remember this, too. Last year in that Student Appreciation Day, Devin Brown, by all accounts, looked better than Will Howard on Student Appreciation Day. And we know how much Devin Howard played last year compared to Will Howard. So, again, don't look too much into it. But I do think, Scotty, this is a true competition.
Well, you and I have seen Lincoln Kienholz up close and personal, not just on the football field, but we saw him at the Cardale Jones softball game last year, and he blew us away with his ability athletically to do so many different things, right? The guy kills the baseball or softball out of the stadium. He passes that eye test, where you see him and you're like, oh my gosh, this kid.
He was USA Today's High School Athlete of the Year for a reason.
Exactly. So very excited that Lincoln Kienholz is looking good. Can't wait to see him this coming Saturday. The other thing we can't wait for is to take more of your calls. The number is 614-821-9710. Yes, we're going to give out a $50 Visa gift card. Yes, we've got some ESPN Bet gift certificates we're going to give out. 614-821-9710. More of your calls next on the Fan Call-In Show.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Guys, it's college hoops superfan Timmy Hall. The finals are here, and the only thing for sure is this. It's the last time to bet on college basketball this season. It's been an amazing ride to get here, so get in on all the action, expected and unexpected, with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make the first bet? Check out the matchups, pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time, here's something special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TheFan971. That's code TheFan971 for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Ohio only. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks, where collectors win big.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that the college basketball championship game is coming?
That's right. You want to go to HollywoodColumbus.com to reserve a table and guarantee your spot for that, for the draft watch party, all kinds of good stuff. You know what draft?
What draft?
All the draft.
We can't say it, but it's a big draft.
Plus, with their Tea Time giveaway, you could win a golf cart or $10,000 in pen slot play Sunday, April 27th.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here on The Fan, we talk about getting rid of joint pain with the regenerative experts at QC Kinetics. There's no surgery, no downtime, just your body's own healing properties working to give you relief. So you can enjoy doing the activities that you love, like the fastest growing sport in the country. That's pickleball. And here in the Columbus area, QC Kinetics is proud to be a sponsor of Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club. Learn, grow your skills, challenge yourself, and meet other pickleball players. Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club features the ultimate indoor facility with 16 state-of-the-art courts. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Paddle Tap welcomes all skill levels. See what you're missing. Call Paddle Taps and mention QC Kinetics, and you'll get 1 hour of free play, courtesy of QC Kinetics, the people who take care of those achy joints, so you can play for years to come. For details, go to pbtaps.com. That's pbtaps.com. pbtaps.com.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Reds fans, 2025 single game tickets are on sale now. Secure your seats for the biggest matchups at Great American Ballpark this year, including the Yankees, Dodgers, and Cubs. And don't miss out on honoring the Hit King on May 14th for a special Pete Rose night when all fans in attendance will receive a Pete Rose replica jersey. For tickets to join your Reds in 2025, visit reds.com/tickets.
At Twin Peaks, one of the things we know best is beer. Celebrate National Beer Day on April 7th with one of our signature taps. Local crafts, ales, lagers, and seasonals. We have them all ready at a teeth-chattering 29 degrees, served in 22-ounce mugs. Cheers.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. Moving up payday so you could get your money faster. Up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
Buckeye Lake Marina Open House is Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Register to win some cool prizes. And the grand prize of a weekend getaway at the lake, valued at over $3,000. Includes an Airbnb, a boat for the weekend, and $1,000 in lake area gift certificates. Buckeye Lake Marina will have the indoor showroom packed. Plus, you can visit the Docks and Marina store during the open house, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 11th through 13th. And you could win the grand getaway at Buckeye Lake. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for details. April 11th through 13th at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Temperatures in the mid-40s Sunday morning with lingering showers that will continue throughout the day, but rain will stay light. Highs only in the low 40s this afternoon and then dipping into the 30s this evening. A few wet snowflakes possible, but no accumulation. Starting near freezing on Monday morning, but will be in the mid-50s during the afternoon with plenty of sun. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. The Fan Calling Show. Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The show that allows you, the sports fan, to be the star.
Welcome back to the Fan Call-In Show. Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker, Cam Taylor at the controls. And guess what? It is your show. It is your show. And we have gift cards we're giving out to the top callers. The number, 614-821-9710. I just had a blast. The last 4 or 5 minutes during the break, I was talking to you about Ohio State hoops and kind of the roster construction. It was a great week for Buckeye basketball in the fact that your core three, Bruce Thornton, He'll be back. John Mobley, he'll be back. And oh, by the way, Devin Royal, he's back. And Ohio State adds a 7-foot center to the team as well. So we can get into more of that. We can get into the Duke collapse / Houston comeback from last night, or we can talk Ohio State spring football. It is your show. It is the Call-In Show.
Real quick, and I think we talked about this a little bit. I hate that these guys have to announce they're coming back. Like, just tell us if you're leaving. We assume you're going to be back. But it's just the way the college is now. I just hate that we have these. Yeah, you're a Buckeye. You're here until I hear differently. But I spent 15 minutes the other morning watching Christoph Tilley highlights. If we're thinking Christoph Tilley is coming in here and fixing all of our problems on the glass, I don't think that's the case. But I will say to this, Scotty, this is a very athletic 7-footer that's coming here from Santa Clara. He's one of the best I've ever seen, Scotty, on the pick and roll, whether that be slashing off of that or passing the basketball. I think we're going to be very impressed with the pick and roll game of Christoph Tilley. He kind of plays, he's a 7-footer, but he's kind of a slasher. It's different. Like, we think 7-footers, they're going to be inside, rebounding, affecting shots. I don't know if we're going to get that. I don't know if it's the Felix Okpara effect with Tilley, but we've got a pretty good offensive player here coming in.
Yeah, great passer. And by the way, Santa Clara played some big-time games, and so Tilley, 7-footer, joining the Buckeye basketball team. Maybe you move Royal a little bit to play the 3, but I think there's a good chance Ohio State is still looking for a 3 in the transfer portal. One thing we're looking for right now is calls. We got Randy, Nick, and Caden coming up on the Fan Call-In Show. The phone lines are open, 614-821-9710. Let's go out and talk to our boy Randy. Randy, welcome to the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, thanks, guys, for having me.
Randy, you got a school you're representing today.
Yeah, let's go OU Bobcats, baby.
Send it in, Jerome!
Oh, yeah, Randy.
Scotty likes that.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Hey, I'm going to comment on the Duke game. I just had to break the news to my dad. He went to bed with like 10 minutes left when Duke was up by 10. So I just broke the news to him that, they lost the game. He was pretty frustrated with that. But I think it's sort of a letdown by Duke. They should have been able to control that. One basket with 10 minutes left is not enough. And that's just my comment.
Randy, really good call. We appreciate it. And actually, Ryan and I were talking about this too, because that game, for a lot of people here, it didn't end till about 11:40 at night. And so, and look, there was, obviously you have 2 Final Four games. The first one started a little after 6 o'clock. Why can we not move the Final Four up to like 5 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Have game 1 be at 4 o'clock. Have game 2 be, in the 6:30, 7 o'clock range. That way, like on the East Coast, we're not staying up till near midnight to watch these Final Four games.
It would be great. You would think that would be the ultimate, but I know they want those prime time viewers. And if you move that up to 4 o'clock, well, your people on the West Coast, that's 1 o'clock. You think they would love that, but maybe the viewership isn't as good. You've got kids playing basketball or whatever sports they're in and whatnot. So maybe it takes some of the viewership. I don't know, but it would be nice. Like if this, and I know it was a weekend, so not a big deal. I had to be up yesterday morning, and don't cry for me, right? Like I had to be up yesterday morning at 4:45, and then I had a long day throughout that. I found myself dozing off as much as I was into it, dozing off throughout that second half here and there because I'm like, it's just a long day.
Well, and oh, by the way, the national championship game tomorrow night, you're going to have to stay up just as late, right? Because the game almost starts about 9 o'clock. So you're looking at the same scenario.
And I believe that whatever it was, the tip time that's announced for this year is the earliest it's been in a while. So they are bumping it up a little bit tomorrow night, but still going to be a long morning at work on Tuesdays if you stay up for that one. Nick, you've been holding a long time. You're next on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Nick.
Morning, boys. How's it going?
Going good, Nick. You got a school for us?
Yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I almost pulled a Randy's dad last night, and I'm really glad I didn't. But I'm in Nashville this weekend actually visiting a friend from college, and I just want to say one of the best feelings in the world is being in a different city and getting the chance to call out an OH and hearing that IO back. There's nothing like it. It's awesome. I love it.
It's one of the things that makes being a Buckeye great, Nick. I love that. And I mean, other than Vegas, does it get much better than watching the Final Four in Nashville? It's got to be a great atmosphere, right?
That would be fantastic. And I will tell you, speaking of that, Nick, when I was in Vegas, actually middle of last month, it's funny because I literally had just gotten off the plane and there were people in the airport waiting for the next plane. And of course, I have an Ohio State National Championship hat on and get an OH walking off the plane. And then I'm over at the Circa Sportsbook over there in Vegas, and I'm walking around, and probably 3 different OH IOs. So, yes, it is a spectacular thing.
614-821-9710 is the number. Plenty of lines open, and that $50 Visa gift card to our favorite caller of the day still on the line. Let's head back out to the phones. Let's go to Caden. Caden, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Oh, good morning. Listen, I was just so excited Duke lost. I hate Duke, and I don't know why. I'm going to be honest with you.
How old are you, Caden?
I'm 19 years old, or 20, actually. Never mind.
Okay.
I just turned 20.
Yeah, because, all right, so, Caden, I'm 40, and I was in the same boat about 10 years ago, Caden, and Duke was just one of those teams that I love to hate. So go ahead, Caden, keep going.
Duke and Purdue. I think my hatred for Purdue came from Zach Edey, and Duke, it's Cooper Flagg. Listen, whatever it is about Cooper Flagg, it just drives me up a wall.
So Duke, so Caden, I'm not going to lie. From Christian Laettner and Brian Davis and through the years, Grayson Allen, I have hated
JJ Redick.
I've hated Duke forever as well, and I've got to tell you what. I don't like Purdue either. I never liked Gene Cady. Those teams were good back then, and they were the big dog, Glenn Robinson. I didn't like Zach Edey. There's just something about Purdue. Quanzo Martin. I've never liked Purdue either. So let's give Caden something at least, even if it's an ESPN dining credit. Whatever you want to give. You pick what you want to give him, Scotty. But I hate Duke, and I hate Purdue too. So let's give Caden something.
That's so funny that you hate Purdue. I got to say that's a little random to me. But we all have that random team. I think Duke is one of those teams that most people hate if you don't grow up liking Duke. But for me, the school that's kind of random that I hate, and it's Indiana. Indiana,
that's
to me.
That's not random, though. That used to be the matchup,
I get it.
Ohio State
but I still hate them. Despite that they've been irrelevant for probably the last 15 years, I still take joy every time they lose, especially in Assembly Hall.
I don't think that's random, and maybe you just picked up a topic. What basketball teams do you love to hate, or sports teams in general?
Florida is actually one that I generally hate as well.
I hate that I have Florida winning it all in my bracket. I hate it.
I hate that I need Florida for some futures bets.
Again, 614-821-9710. That is the number. It is your show. It's the Fan Call-In Show. Nick, hang on the line. We will get to you in 2 minutes on the Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Guys, it's college hoops superfan Timmy Hall. The finals are here, and the only thing for sure is this. It's the last time to bet on college basketball this season. It's been an amazing ride to get here, so get in on all the action, expected and unexpected, with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make the first bet? Check out the matchups, pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time, here's something special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TheFan971. That's code TheFan971 for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Ohio only. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hey, Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 five-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks, where collectors win big.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Back to the show of the fans, by the fans, and for these crazy fans. The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
So Scotty and I were talking in the break, and we were talking about our last caller, Caden, who said he hated Purdue, and I agree with that. For some reason, I don't like Purdue either,
and I hate Michigan State.
And you said you don't hate Michigan State, and I get that in the rivalry sense. But I respect Michigan State and Izzo a ton because it's hard to get to a level that they've been at and stay there. And I understand, Izzo hasn't won anything since 2000, blah, blah, blah. But they're always a threat. They're always near the top of the Big Ten. Every couple of years, they make a deep run into the tournament. Every year when you fill out your bracket, you're like, man, I think Michigan State could possibly get to the Final Four here. You can find a path for that. And I just appreciate, I'm a Browns fan, and I hate the Steelers. I hate them with a passion, but I respect the hell out of that organization because, and it might be hurting them because they're kind of in the line of mediocrity almost here right now, but they've been good and consistently good and an upper echelon team in the NFL for a long time. And that's how Izzo and Michigan State is. So as much as I want to beat them, I have a hard time hating them because they've been so good.
You know what it probably is? It's probably that I'm jealous, right? I mean, I'm jealous of the consistency that Michigan State has had for so long, and they make the tournament every year, right? There's no doubt that next year Michigan State and Tom Izzo will make the NCAA tournament again. And probably in 3 years, they'll make the tournament again. And they will, every once in a while, they'll make a deep run in the tournament. They also still haven't won a national championship since 2000. So I do believe that the praise and love for Tom Izzo is a little overboard for a guy who hasn't won a national championship in 25 years. So, I get it. I get it that there's respect because they're always there, but he is kind of treated as one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time, despite the fact that he hasn't won one in 25 years.
I think he is one of the greatest of all time. And guess what?
He's also a whiner.
Hold on. Nobody lasts for 25 years.
That's true.
Anymore at one school. So that kind of tells you how good he's been, that Michigan State hasn't wanted to move on from this guy.
And how could you hate Gene Katie and his toupee?
I maybe it was the toupee. I don't know. I literally have no explanation for my dislike for Purdue, but I do. Who's your team that you dislike and you don't even know why? 614-821-9710. Let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's welcome in Nick. Good morning, Nick. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, guys. Let's go with the Akron Zips.
Tommy likey. Tommy want wingy.
Number one hated team for basketball is Duke. So fantastic night last night. One thing that I noticed last night, I wanted to see what you guys thought. Delegated most of my college football or college basketball season to the Big Ten and watching, our Ohio State Buckeyes. Haven't seen a ton of this tournament just because of kids' sports and spring break, but watched both games last night, and I'm telling you right now, I was blown away by the level of talent on the floor and just how far it seems we need to go to even be on a court with any of those teams. I mean, length, athleticism, depth, how far are we to even coming? Florida was unbelievable to me. It's almost like watching the Big Ten as high school and watching these guys as college. Like, that's how I feel. I think that the leap to get to put an Ohio State on the court with any of those teams last night is far and long. What do you guys think?
Well, Nick, you are absolutely right. Right? It's a completely different level. And the evidence is, remember when Ohio State played Auburn earlier this year, and the game was over about 6 minutes into the game. I could pull up the final score of that game, but it was a completely different level. You're absolutely right. Now, I give Ohio State credit because, look, the core of what's coming back is exactly what they need to compete for next year, right? So Bruce and Royal and Mobley, they're on the right track. It's still a completely different thing, right? When you see what Auburn has and what Florida has and what Houston has and what Duke has, it's a different level, but they have superstars. I'm not sure Ohio State has the superstar, and I love Bruce, but I'm not sure they have the superstar that those 4 teams had last night.
And I think that's the sad thing, because there was a run there where Ohio State did have the superstar, right? Whether it was Jimmy Jackson in the early 90s or Michael Redd in the late 90s, Odin and Conley, Evan Turner, Jared Sullinger. Like, Ohio State was the team that had the superstars for a long time, and they're not there. And like you talk about Bruce, right? Bruce is probably on a really good college basketball team, a number 2, maybe a number 3 option, right? A lot of times I like to, when I watch games, and I'll do this with the Blue Jackets, Scotty, I will see guys and I will be like, well, on a Stanley Cup winning team, this guy isn't a first liner. He's a third liner and things like that. And I look at those teams last night, and would Bruce be in the starting 5? You know, I would think so, but there's a possibility that he wouldn't. And that's just the way that I kind of judge things a lot of times. So, yeah, there's a long way to go for Ohio State. And I don't know what the path to get there is outside of winning. And obviously the money, right? Like, nowadays you get the superstars by paying them.
So, okay, I'm glad Nick brought this up. By the way, the score of the Ohio State-Auburn game earlier this year was Auburn 91-53. So when we saw Ohio State playing that level of team, that's what we saw. And look, A&M was another really good team. Ohio State got destroyed in that game as well. But Ohio State also beat Kentucky
by very handily
on a neutral court by 20. Now, I will say this about turning things around. Florida has not been great over the last 5 or 6 years.
Todd Golden has done a good job.
Todd Golden flipped them completely. So that's the blueprint, right? Like, Auburn 5-6 years ago wasn't that good either. So you can flip things in college basketball really, really quickly.
You can, and let's hope that we're in the, like you said, the right path here. I think Mobley, obviously there's size limitations, but I think Mobley, talent-wise, is one of those guys that can get you there. You've got good pieces with Thornton and Royal. Let's see what Christoph Tilley does, what else Ohio State does in the transfer portal. Maybe a Marcus Johnson, who's committed to the Buckeyes, coming in here, whether it be this year if he reclassifies or next year. Let's see if he's the kind of talent that can kickstart that for the Buckeyes. Let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Sean. Sean, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, fellas. How's it going?
We're doing good, Sean. You got a school you're representing today.
School representing, not so much, but I'm going to give you a team to hate. We all have a lot of teams we hate here in Central Ohio, but I'm going to give you one that's a little off kilter a little bit, and that's the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Boy, they came in, and it seems like the NHL gave them everything they needed to be successful right away. And I look at our poor Blue Jackets. It's been around, 25 years now. And, man, we it's just been the struggle bus for 25 years. And Vegas gets all that stuff right up front and wins a title. So that's my hated team for today.
You know, Sean, you're not alone in that. There's a lot of Blue Jackets fans out there and fans, NHL fans, hockey fans that feel the same way. It was certainly different rules, right, when Vegas joined the league compared to when the Blue Jackets did join the league back in 2000. And good on the Golden Knights to, one, hire the people that could take advantage of those rules, and then two, taking advantage of them. And Seattle was in a pretty good spot as well when they came in not long after the Vegas Golden Knights, but teams were more prepared for it then. The teams weren't prepared and didn't have their rosters set up the way they needed to protect the players they wanted to protect when Vegas came into town. So not only did Vegas get a lot of really good players, but they had teams trading them a lot of really good draft picks to Vegas to protect their own players. So Vegas not only had a good roster off the rip, but they had some draft picks to set them up for future success as well. I think that's one thing that Seattle doesn't have, is Seattle doesn't have maybe the draft picks in the setup for the future like Vegas did right there in the beginning.
Look, where do we get a lot of our sports hate? Jealousy. It just that's what it is, right? If they're not your direct rival, generally you hate a team because you're jealous of their success. And I think that's what a lot of people have with Duke. And so a lot of people are celebrating the fact that Duke last night lost in a dramatic fashion. And I just, as a Buckeye fan, I keep coming back to the fact that, okay, Duke had the best player in the country in Cooper Flagg, right? And he played great in the game. And Duke was in control of that game for 38 of the 40 minutes of the game. It just, for those last 2 minutes, they couldn't close. And but it's a jealousy thing. I totally get it. Now, going back real quick to what Nick said about turning around in Ohio State basketball, getting to the level of like the Floridas and the Auburns and the Dukes and the Houstons who are in the Final Four. Last year, Ryan, Florida lost in the very first round of the NCAA tournament. Okay, they lost 102 to 100 to Colorado, first round of the tournament. In 2023, they didn't make the NCAA tournament. In 2022, they didn't make the NCAA tournament. And the year before that, they lost in the second round. So, like, they turned around things really quickly. Adding to your roster in one off season makes a huge difference. So, like, we're talking about, Ohio State could be light years behind the teams that are on the floor. But guess what? Florida was light years behind the team that were on the floor in the Final Four last year as well.
And listen, this conversation is what makes sports great, right? Because there are a lot of people that are super happy that Duke lost last night. There's a lot of people that are very upset that Duke lost last night, not including Tito, who's upset for different reasons. But there's a lot of, and that's, you got to have, in sports, you got to have good guys and you got to have villains, right? You got to have Batman and you got to have the Joker in sports to make sports what it is and so great. And this conversation is the thing that makes sports so great. Again, the phone number, 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. We've got room for just a couple more callers here before we end the show. Twan, hang on the line. You are coming up next on the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95 now through April 5th. Save $50 on home delivery, too. Visit OhioMulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Buckeye Lake Marina Open House is Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Register to win some cool prizes and the grand prize of a weekend getaway at the lake, valued at over $3,000. Includes an Airbnb, a boat for the weekend, and $1,000 in lake area gift certificates. Buckeye Lake Marina will have the indoor showroom packed. Plus, you can visit the Docks and Marina store during the open house, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 11th through 13th. And you could win the grand getaway at Buckeye Lake. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for details. April 11th through 13th at Buckeye Lake Marina.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Here on the Fan, we talk about getting rid of joint pain with the regenerative experts at QC Kinetics. There's no surgery, no downtime, just your body's own healing properties working to give you relief. So you can enjoy doing the activities that you love, like the fastest growing sport in the country. That's pickleball. And here in the Columbus area, QC Kinetics is proud to be a sponsor of Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club. Learn, grow your skills, challenge yourself, and meet other pickleball players. Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club features the ultimate indoor facility with 16 state-of-the-art courts. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Paddle Tap welcomes all skill levels. See what you're missing. Call Paddle Taps and mention QC Kinetics, and you'll get 1 hour of free play, courtesy of QC Kinetics, the people who take care of those achy joints, so you can play for years to come. For details, go to pbtaps.com. That's pbtaps.com. pbtaps.com.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black-Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
In Columbus, how?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmouth.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Ever want to be a radio star?
It's all about the radio.
Or at least hear your voice on the air?
The radio's all yours now.
This is the show for you. This is the Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Welcome back in. Final segment of this week's call-in show. Ryan Baker, Scotty Vegas, thankful for all of you and the calls that we've had so far. Twan, we will get to you in a second, but you can always reach us via the YouTube chat and the social media as well. And Doug over on the YouTube chat says, good morning, gents. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. What is your favorite sport, non-baseball, basketball, football, hockey, to watch and bet on? Now, I think I know your answer, and I know mine. So you go ahead and give yours, Scotty.
Yeah, it's golf, right? And here's the deal. I was spending 2 or 3 hours yesterday morning watching Live Golf. I think I was one of about 40 people in the country watching the Live Golf tournament.
Which Live Golf has a deal with Fox now, or one coming up? Or
Gosh, I had to pull open the Fox Sports app to watch it. But yes, I did watch the Live Golf tournament in Miami. And the amazing thing is there's huge names in it. So it's like Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm and Sergio Garcia and Phil Mickelson are all up there at the top. Nobody knows about it. Nobody's watching it. But I love to bet on golf. And actually, I'm glad you brought up that question, because this week being the Masters is the best week to bet on golf. And I love putting together a to make the cut at the Masters parlay. I'll put it out there on social media on Twitter this week, what I end up doing. But I spend a good amount of money because I think there's great value in to make the cut bets for the Masters. What about you? What's your favorite? I think I know that it's UFC. Am I right?
Yeah, I love betting UFC. I love watching UFC. I love betting UFC. Unfortunately, I haven't been watching the smaller UFCs, but the UFCs, the big ones, the pay-per-views, I hit almost all of them, and I will bet on those. Funny thing about the Masters, Scotty, I have gotten the Masters champion the last 2 years, I believe, maybe 3.
Okay, well, then let's hear it.
I think I haven't looked into it yet. I even forgot the Masters was coming up this week, but I'll have to get on that. But I believe it was 2 years ago. I was sitting there on Sunday with house money because I had Rahm and Koepka both. And Rahm won, but I would have won a little more money had Koepka been the guy that won it. So I've had a pretty good betting the golf majors here the past couple of years. Let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's get our final call of the day. That will be Twan. Twan, good morning. Welcome to the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
We're doing good. You got a school you're representing.
I'm going to rock with the Ohio State Buckeyes, of course.
What can I say? I like the way you're put together.
What do you got for us, Twan?
So I wanted to talk to you guys. I might be completely off base here, but just I don't know how much we talked about Columbus sports all through the show, but it really came to mind as I was watching the Blue Jackets and kind of hoping for this playoff run. And I just feel like a lot of Columbus sports, whether we're talking O-State hoops or football, with that game against the team up north, I think we lean into this balanced game plan approach where we're trying to be more defensive minded and we get behind in games, no matter the Columbus sport. So do you guys think that's a culture thing? Has that just been a confluence of game plans? Because when we opened it up in the playoffs, you see, national champions, and we have the talent. I just don't know why, most teams are more offensive or aggressive. You guys have a great one.
It's an interesting call, Twan, and thank you for the call. I do think there is something with Ohio State football a little bit where, especially in the game, they're scared to open it up. I don't know if it's because historically the team that wins the rushing battle is the team that wins that game or whatnot. But I do think there is something to that with that game there. With the Blue Jackets, I don't know. I think what you're seeing here with the Blue Jackets down the stretch, at least, and I can't talk about past years, I'm just talking about this year, is they're in deep waters right now for this team. This is a young team that hasn't played in games like this before. The last 20 games of the regular season, usually teams are ramping up to make the playoffs or get their spot in the playoffs, and it's just a lot for this younger Blue Jackets team. And the goaltending and the defense haven't been great here recently, so I don't know if that's a thing where they say they're gripping their sticks too tight, puckering a little bit. But, I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't know if the Ohio State basketball team, I honestly don't think it's they're worried about, I think they are worried about defense, but I don't think it's a thing where they're just selling out for defense. I just think it's a talent level.
Yeah, yes, it's definitely partially a talent level with OSU hoops. But, hey, I wanted to talk about this as far as watching that Duke game last night. And it just gives you more appreciation what this Ohio State football team accomplished in their run in the playoff. Because, look, Duke had the superstar, right? Cooper Flagg, and they were the team to beat it seemed, in this tournament, and they were rolling over teams, and it looked like, hey, they got off to a big lead against Houston. They were going to coast to the national championship game, and guess what happened? They had a stretch where they could not get it done, and it cost them. They had the superstar and flag. They had the run. Everything was pointing towards Duke was going to win a national championship. And then they stumbled and they fell down the stretch. And what it does is it makes you appreciate even more the run that the Ohio State football team went on for me. And the fact that, like, you think back to that Notre Dame game in the national championship where things started to go the other way a little bit down the stretch. And Notre Dame cut that game relatively close. And it got to the point where it was like, oh my gosh, it looked like Ohio State was going to run away with that game and it was going to be a laugher. And it got close, and Ohio State came away with the big play to their superstar, to Jeremiah Smith, to put away the national championship. And it doesn't always work out because look at what happened with Duke and going to their superstar in the last minutes of that game.
And the interesting thing, you talk about Duke and Ohio State, a lot of times we're Duke.
Yes.
To other people.
100%.
Like other people love to hate Ohio State. Without Ohio State, college football is not nearly as good.
Same with Duke.
Because it's the team that people love, and it's the team that people love to hate. In Ohio State, the last 25 years has been a team that's been at that top, right? They've been a team that's always right there. They've won, 4 national championships now in the last 25 years? So it's very, or 3, excuse me.
Yep.
But it's very interesting. It will be 4 this year.
Let's go.
You're calling it right now. Scotty
Yes.
Vegas. I know you've got bets on it already. You have to.
Of course.
Hey, thanks everyone so much for calling in and interacting with us on the Fan Call-In Show. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked to the Fan all day. Coming up at 4:30 today, pregame coverage of the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Ottawa Senators. And coming up next, what a treat. Tito, Tim May, Rhyme Time, Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Need a new heating or cooling system? Booking a free in-home estimate with Logan Services is easier than ever. In just minutes, you can schedule your appointment on our website. It's fast, simple, and hassle-free. Book a time that works best for you. We offer appointments throughout the week and on weekends. And next-day installation is available now. When you need help, we're here for you. For the home of fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, NewmanRoofing.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield.